New selection for CBS This Morning reads, it's a New York Times bestseller called Let It Go, Forgive So You Can Be Forgiven by T.D. Jakes. The book comes out in paperback tomorrow. It's published by Simon & Schuster, which is a division of CBS. Bishop T.D. Jakes leads the Dallas megachurch Potter's House and joins us at the table this morning. It's really good to have you here, Bishop.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited, too. You said that forgiveness really is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness, and a lot of people don't get that.
I think we have it programmed backwards. We think that we're stronger if we're more angry and resentful, but it really takes a lot of strength to move forward, to go on with your life.
I have a you are dead to me list with one person on it. Is that the same as forgiveness? I was telling my daughter about your book, and she said to me last night, Mom, maybe you better keep reading. Because I'm thinking, a dead to me list, is that as effective as forgiveness?
I don't think it's so important that you put the person on the list as you put the incident on the list.
Oh.
Yeah, because when you put the person on the list, you don't give people the privilege to change, and people do change.
Is everybody capable of being forgiven? Should everybody deserve a chance at being forgiven?
It's really not about the person deserving a chance. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It frees you from the past and liberates you so that you can move on, giving your whole energy to what is before you rather than what is behind you.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting, forgiveness is an interesting, I grew up in the Catholic faith, and that's something we talk about certainly in the Catholic faith as well as forgiveness. How do you do it, though?
You know, I think a lot of times we have trouble doing it because we associate forgiveness with emotions. Really, it's a conscious decision, and it's something that you give yourself so that you can move forward. It announces to yourself that what is in front of you is more important than what was behind you.
Mm-hmm. Somebody once said, forgive but don't forget.
Yeah.
I don't think we can forget. To ask yourself to forget is unreasonable unless you've got amnesia or something. But you can remember the incident without carrying the pain. It's much like having a scar that doesn't hurt anymore. You know that it did happen. Take what's good out of it, what you learn from it, and leave what's bad from it and move forward so that you can progress.
And remember, it does not exonerate the perpetrator. I think that is such an important thing. Clearly, I have some issues. Yes. Clearly, I have some issues at the table this morning.
How many people are on this list?
Yeah, on that dead to me.
It was 3, but now it's down to 1.
What happened to the other 2?
Well, I forgave
them.
I
let it go.
I let it go.
Absolutely.
You have served as spiritual advisor to President Bush, President Clinton, President Obama. I know last year you were involved in the inauguration church service. How important is it for the president to have faith?
I think it's, if he does have faith,
president.
I think it's important. I think it's important. I think it's a very stressful job. Our demands and expectations are beyond human comprehension, and to be able to submit to a higher power, I think is important when possible.
I ask this with great curiosity. Tell me the source of your strength and why you seem to have been so successful at what you do.
That's an interesting question. I think some parts of it are due to my transparency and my ability to connect with people. I think you have to love people. It's more to it than loving God. I think you have to love God, but you also have to love people and be curious about people, to remain a student of life all of your life and not become so informed that you miss the opportunities to be increased by your involvement, not only with professors, but with children, with everybody, to watch life. I'm really a voyeur of life itself.
Yeah, as a bishop and so close to your parishioners, what's your biggest concern right now with people that you counsel? What's your biggest worry?
Everything is moving so fast. We're receiving information so quickly. We're inundated with things that are perpetrated to be true that have really not been examined. So we build monuments of ideas based on nothing. And I think that we stop reading, we stop thinking. We go for the easy downgrade, simple solutions to complicated problems.
What was the hardest thing for you to forgive?
Hardest thing for me to forgive.
Well, you share personal experiences.
I had several, but I'm trying to think what was the hardest. Raising children was very difficult for me. And in my book, I tell several stories. That adolescent stage really threw me for a loop because I really thought it was going to last. The first few children, you know, you get locked into that painful process, and then after you got, well, we have 5. So by the 4th or 5th one, we relax and say, oh, it's just a stage they're going through. But we really went through some little things that hurt. I think the greatest pains are incurred by the people you have the greatest love for.
Yes.
The other thing I'm interested in is that when you counsel with presidents, I mean, how does that go?
It's not really as dramatic as it sounds. Most generally, it's an opportunity to have prayer with the president, to, if there are any things that they want to discuss, to be available to discuss those things. And to give people an opportunity to say something to someone and know that they won't hear it again is a great gift to anyone, particularly someone who is highly visible.
And you said it's never too late to forgive. You know, the big story in the news is Lance Armstrong, and a lot of people are struggling with to forgive, not to forgive. I think he's trying to make a step towards forgiveness. How do you see that whole situation?
Well, the first thing, I think it is incumbent upon us to forgive, because if we don't forgive other people, we can't receive forgiveness. We can't really embrace the notion of forgiveness. But I do want to make a very strong distinction between forgiveness and trust. See, the onus of forgiveness rests upon me because I'm the one that's wounded. But the onus of trust rests upon the perpetrator. You have to reestablish trust. And with the case of Lance Armstrong, he has to rebuild trust by consistency, by acknowledgement, by admitting that he was wrong and being consistently right long enough that he builds up a dossier of trust through which we can reinvent ourselves.
All right. Always good to see you, Bishop T.D. Jakes. And next month, T.D. Jakes will be back with us. To get the story on CBS This Morning Reads, just go to cbsthismorning.com. And tomorrow we'll show you the big changes headed for the nation's best known and most prestigious dog show. Be right back.